and welcome back to Pyre. You may be wondering why I'm starting here. That's because there was recently a massive update which allows for multiple save profiles. This isn't particularly important to myself or you, the viewer, but thought I would share it with you in case this is something that you wished Pyre had, and hey, now it does. So, yeah, it's next right to be determined, liberations, rights since last liberation, bleh. So yeah, new profiles. It was a big update. I imagine, that might not have been the whole, I think it was 1.9 gigs, 1.7 gigs, something like that. I talked to everyone blaspheming. God, I love her. She better be one of my teammates. She is... Feels as though the music's different. More funky. That'd have been a weird update if they changed the music. Anyways, we have returned to a place of respite. Please make yourself comfortable, such as you can. We are at the mercy of the stars, but I expect they shall shine brightly again in time. As for me, I shall return by then, for there is something I must do. There, from atop the sacred mountain, you gaze down at the abyss and downside. You wonder where the stars shall align themselves once more. There, upon the sacred mountains, you and your companions once more await the night the stars begin to shine again. The plan of which you are all a part set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. Is it? Missed that. If your companions return there through the liberation rites, what sort of place shall they be coming back to? Didn't I just leave? Shouldn't I know, what it looks like? I just got here. Many moons pass. Alright, so it's been a while. But still, I'm the most recent? One evening, amid a downpour with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Volford requests everyone to convene. You understand he has an announcement of some sorts. Soon everyone is assembled, and Volford regards the group. Everyone, there's an aspect of our plan which I have not talked about with you at length. Could you have done that before two of us were already liberated? Look around at your companions, what do you see in them? Bird, child of nature, and dude I don't care about. Oh, and worm. And worm. He lets the question hang a moment in the air. I'll tell you what I see in all of you. In all of us. I see in all of us a living vision of the 8 scribes themselves. Well, yeah, I figured that out a while ago. You should have too, audience. Each one among them hailing from different tribes which later formed our Commonwealth. My observation does not come from pompousness, I think. Rather, I believe the scribes themselves desired, or should I say desire, such a course. Together they created this ceremony of which we are now a part of. The exiles liberated through their rites went on to found the Commonwealth. Oh, as in create, not find. Based on their values and their teachings. Thus, an instrumental aspect of our plan is to embody a spirit and a culture from which the Commonwealth arose many centuries ago. That way, when we are all united on the other side of solitary, the people shall see that we reflect the values they yet cherish in their hearts, not merely our own. Anyways, we are still missing one key representative on behalf of the Molten Leaf? Yeah. Ah, yeah, we don't have a swamp monster. And I happen to know a certain bog dweller I think should fit the part splendidly indeed. So we've got a new teammate who's a bog dweller. This should be interesting. Motions for someone to approach. We also don't really have a tree man on the team. Have you noticed that? I mean, you're here, but you're not competing, Volfred. Oh, I recognize her. It must be Dirty Laura, or whatever it was that tricked out my ride. A certain bog dweller slithers forward. You recognize her straight away. It is my pleasure to introduce a dear old friend of mine whom I believe you've met. Welcome to the Nightwing's Bertrude. For those of you wondering, Dirty Laura is... reference to Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment, I want to say? I think it was Filthy Laura, or Dirty Laura, something like that. The bog dweller called Big Bertrude utters something guttural by way of greeting. We are to understand that you require further aid from us. Yes, dear Bertrude, the time has come. Bertrude here is far away from the most accomplished alchemist whom I have met. Is far and away. You will soon find that she knows much about the rites as well. Bertrude looks at you and your fellow exiles each in turn. We frighten ye, apparent. Everyone is silent as Bertrude searches their expressions. Then tremble, small ones, and hold thy tongues well, lest we remove them. Oh, shut up. Shakes her leave without another word. Please excuse Bertrand's blunt manner. I guarantee she'll more than make up for it. She better be good. Out there on the fields, only talent matters. Everyone disperses. It now seems the ranks of Nightwings are complete. So, we're not going to talk about this, or... Alright. She just is part of the team now. Good group decision, everyone. That was great. Now then, my girl, perhaps you've noticed the stars are bright once more up there behind the stubborn rain, meaning the time we got back to business. Wouldn't it be cloudy? And therefore hard to... whatever. Indeed, once more, several stars shine bright within the cold and storming sky. Thinks there can be breaks in the clouds. Be a nice touch if there were clouds. Okay. So how did I say we're doing this? Dalbert's up first, if he's available. Other than that, it's gonna be Tabitha, or whatever. Yeah, the Essence. Essence and the Fate are who I'm gonna fight first. Fate is like priority 1, followed by Essence. Probably followed by Chastity, if I'm being completely honest. Just to shut Manly Tinderstoff up. Manly Tinderstoff. That's a... forgotten that was his name. 42! Groovy music, too. Good on you, guy who worked on this. I want to say it's Darren Korb. It might be more than just him. Might not be him. We're not fighting him. Certainly not fighting him. Don't care about him. Where's the other one? Ah, here it was. Well, since it seems old, what's his name isn't around, guess we'll go fight her. Pamitha, get ready. You're about to have a character-defining moment. So we have another brush with Tamitha. Perhaps she'll spare me yet another moment of her time. She's here because of me, and I'm here for her. That is why... whatever. Pamitha tells you more of your next adversary, her own blood sister. Tamitha Thayan? A harp of the High-Wing remnants, raised from birth to exile in outwitting and outmaneuvering her enemies. She seems driven by her hatred for the Commonwealth. So... never mind. After retreating to the mountains centuries ago, the Harps refused to join the Commonwealth, and the old tensions boiled over into their raids, or skirmishes, or all-out war. Flight tacticians such as Tamitha gave the High-Wing remnants a swift and powerful military presence this day, despite the Harps' small numbers. She once hatched ambitious plans to overthrow the Commonwealth, breaching its defense so her sisters could rain down untold destruction. On her darkest night of the year, she led a daring infiltration mission deep into her enemy's lands. It almost worked. However, she was betrayed by someone very close to her, someone branded a Commonwealth sympathizer, Pamitha. Tamitha was caught, clipped, and subsequently exiled as a prisoner of war, but being trapped within Downside only stoked her fury. I wound up here too not long afterwards, anyways. It's complicated what happened between us. What I did for her own good, and that of all our sisters. If I'm beginning to doubt that Tamitha will ever see it that way, well, I suppose, but for now... we'll see, I suppose, but for now, I best try and catch what sleep I'm able to. Pleasant dreams, then, darling. Bid a good night, Pamitha, in turn. I want to know more about Pamitha. You know, I came around on her. I'm liking her playstyle. I kind of want to know more about the whole why she thought this was the best decision. I still don't give a rat's ass about Hedwyn. No time now to make flight preparations, though. Come morning, the Black Wagon will press onward. Who have we got? So, how's everyone doing? What's this stuff? Bertrand's decks. Unusual etched cards depicting the Greater Titans, probably for curses and enchantments. Who's an else? No telling. Arguing with Gilman. Arguing with Hedwyn. You get him, Gilman. Yay. Clearing cobwebs. Liberated. Oh. They may have reunited by now. Studying in private. Nearby. Developing new trials. I do have a new one, don't I? Whee! It's just not the same without Ruki. I miss you, Ruki. Making dust drawings. Good on her, I guess. What's this log? Oh, whatever. You find Big Bergtrude looking at the Black Wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Nurg, such clutter add to the wagon since we looked upon it last. Unsightly. We remember thee from our abode in the flagging hands. Then thou must be the reading one to whom Sandalwood referred. She was in close studying you. Recall that the mere touch of a bog crone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis or worse. That one such as thee can extract meaning from that tome. 'Twas a feat we wish to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years of which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe thou canst understand the Book of Rites. Then backs away for someone else to join you. Hail, Bertrude, madam. Is everything to your liking this time, or is there something more which you require? Nerg, we've been unable to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard extract among thy belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint present. It's possible Wilfred has a small supply among his possession here. If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then after you, madam. I kind of want to know more about him. Why is he here? As they depart, you think you see the lone minstrel nod his head your way. Thanks. Thanks a bunch. Okay. Rites of the Flame. These blackened nails do I hereby inscribe the rites of the flame. The bylaws shall be written here in full. We the eight decree the rites attest to one's true worth in body, mind, and spirit. Now until the stars abandon us, this shall be binding law within downside. Those deemed worthy in the rites are to regain their freedom from downside and return to whence they came. Exiles shall conduct the rites as one of the 9 triumvirats and look towards the stars for guidance on their path. Exiles shall bear this book as status. Alright then. Apparently there's more. The essential structure of the rite shall be as follows. Where chosen by the stars within the darkened night shall 2 triumvirates stand in opposition, far enough afield beside their concerned pyre, symbolizing their resolve. In each triumvirate, the 3 shall act as one to demonstrate they trust one another, not just in themselves. Triumvirate shall endeavor to extinguish the pyre of their adversary, whose flames are only to be staunched through a celestial orb descended from the stars. Whosoever's pyre remains burning shall prevail. The triumvirates are to disperse. Do we have yet more here? Nah, I think we're done. Jesus Christ. The rite shall not commence unless the necessary preparations are complete. A celestial landmark ere the signs align. Exiles shall conduct the rites bearing the book, of which there are but 40 copies? Each bound in astral hide. Exiles shall wear the sacred remnants fashioned in our likeness at the summit of Mount Illyrio. Our enemies are to be concealed, for they shall represent us. Hence the masks. Exiles shall set a metal sigil for their pyre, and consecrate the grounds using words. The 8 scribes gave freedom so we may yet have ours. Heaven shall soon respond when all is set. Are we quite finished? No. During the rite, each triumvirate shall act as one, unearningly and without question. The disobedient shall suffer banishment or permanent expulsion. Hear that, manly? Exiles shall move as of a single mind to demonstrate their faith and recognize that they, as we the 8, cannot prevail alone. Their worth shall be determined both by their actions and their peers. Triumvirates lacking experience in this may designate a reader, whose focus on the book may help others coordinate. However, only those who shall conduct rites firsthand shall walk the path towards enlightenment and become eligible to regain their freedom. So unless I put down the book and throw my hat into this ring of sick b-ball action, I'm not getting out of here. Oh, for God's sakes. At the appointed time, the aligning of the stars in heaven shall rain down suspicion, and the triumphants protect the pyres with their lifeblood. Are we quite finished? I want to see any more sparkles coming out of this damn book. I'll just... Here. Are we good? Are we good yet? Have I read it all? Are we done? Good. Laters. Jesus. Some people. You rise early in the morning, though Bertrude is already awake. She scowls at you. Good morning, reader. Bertrude, I trust your stay has been not too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood, the comfort of this place are not for us. Fly us forth from here to lower ground, and let us get on with all of this. She's lower than Hedwyn on my list of people getting out of here, by the way. Currently. I'm not saying there isn't room for her to climb that ladder, but just currently. The reader here shall do so. Once the group is ready, I thank you for your patience. I wonder what Ruki and Jodaria would have had to say about her. Whee! I do like the kind of hop it does. Oh, hey, thing. Soaring far above the Slarian shore, you notice Pamphlet gazing down at the frozen cliffs. That damn place down there, I like it least of all, I think. Among everywhere we've been, I'm thankful that there's been no reason to return. Gee, foreshadowing. Reminds me of my home is all. The Highwind remnants, we all grew accustomed to the thinner air, and the cliffs that breach the clouds here near Commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder my sister settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land there by the nest of Trista. Anyways, I'm pleased to spend as little time here as possible. Let us fly on by and go about our business. Whee! Yeah. Upon rewatching the bit with Manley, who... Yeah, I think that's him flying around over there. I did fly near him. Like, I did kind of make a beeline to see what was up about him, but he leapt in the air. You know, at the precise moment when he would crash into me. So... Point is, I'm not giving him his way when we do face him. Whee! Wow, we're going really far south. The Forbidden Carrion of Hob. Forbidding. Yeah, forbidding. Lies below us. Not many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear of the listless remnants of Shank's Six Shoulders. Shank's Six Shoulders. I'm just gonna call him Shanksy. Some fear that the listless remnants of Shanksy shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through the flagging hands. Few know its true significance, as do we, although your adversaries, the Essence, should be on their way there now, soon after you confront them once again. Soon you confront them once again. There was a point of entrance there. I can either go Shunt, into Shay's thing, or Lick Sand, just Tizo. Seeing how the curs in the vicinity are doing. Okay, what does Shay want? Mud Bass. Ooh, I think we've all earned a Mud Bath. Hey, Volford. Alright, so let's see. Reliving the past, singing softly. Ah, he's liberated, right. Exploring with Bertrude. What is Bertrude's thing? Oh, the cards, right. Humming softly. Flexing his coils. Off on his own. Out on the prowl. Exploring with Tizo, and, of course, nearby. Volford is poring over a copy of the Book of Rites as you approach. He looks up at you and smiles. The Road to Freedom, written in a book that hardly anyone believes exists. There are only 40 copies, and fewer still can read and comprehend. Sometimes I marvel at how absurd all of this is, my girl. Tell me something, though. I've spent so much time considering the book, but known so few with whom I could discuss it with much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think? Worth all the fuss? Well, I certainly haven't only skimmed it. I've read actually quite a bit of it. I have skimmed. Don't get me wrong. There are certainly moments I have skimmed, but I have read quite a bit of it. It's an odd combination of tedious and fascinating. There are parts I enjoy. There are other parts where it's like, oh my god. Archaic volume and dense lore you are not concerned with at this point. You have come across more than your fair share of books, but none quite like this. That's fair. I think that's fair to say. Tell Volford the book fascinates you and that you have never seen anything quite like it, not solely as you describe your experience with it. I share this sentiment. Have in our possession a genuine artifact from a forgotten time, how much of it exactly true and how much describes retelling events. That's another good point. Some of it could be apocryphal and just legends the scribes have altered to make themselves sound a bit different or better in their own eyes. Left out certain unpleasantries. I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. Oh yeah, as a concept, the book's fascinating. There are certain passages that are quite dry, however. Puts away his copy of the book with care. It is amazing that these volumes have survived for all this time. Whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well, and the ideas they contain they remain rather provocative as well. I think the Commonwealth disavows the existence of the book despite official recognition of the 8 scribes. It's kind of weird. The Commonwealth says no, the book doesn't exist, even though we have physical copies of the book here in Downside, and the gods that they believe in are like, no, we totally wrote books, guys. Although, the reasons why they are there, written plain. How fascinating. Why they're... Although the reasons why are in there. I actually kind of want to get to that point. How fascinating that it has secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyways, you'll have to excuse my extracurricular interest in its teachings. I used to teach a version of its history. To have access to real thing has brought me some small pleasure. Well, that's nice. Let's be certain to preserve these volumes for whom shall ever be the next to use them. Quite. Turns attention to other matters and bids you good afternoon. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. When we come back, we're going to explore Shunt. So until then, talk to you later, Shooting Go Shares, and see you around, Ass Clowns.